The studio lights of the Kelly Clarkson Show buzzed with their usual vibrant energy on that fateful September afternoon, casting a warm glow over the sleek set adorned with plush green armchairs, a cluster of fresh dahlias in a crystal vase on the coffee table, and the iconic neon sign flickering Kelly Clarkson in playful pink script against the brick wall backdrop. Kelly Clarkson, resplendent in a tailored red pantsuit that hugged her curves with effortless elegance, her blonde waves cascading loosely over one shoulder, settled into her seat with that signature megawatt smile, her blue eyes sparkling with anticipation as the audience erupted in applause. Seated opposite her was Trisha Yearwood, the country music matriarch, her presence commanding yet understated in a soft denim shirt tucked into high-waisted jeans, her auburn hair pulled into a simple ponytail that spoke volumes of her no-nonsense southern charm. The two women, both powerhouses in their own right, Kelly the pop country crossover queen who'd built an empire from vocal runs and heartfelt ballads, Trisha the Grammy-winning icon whose voice had woven the fabric of Nashville's golden era, shared a history of mutual admiration, having duet on stages from the CMA Awards to intimate charity galas. But today, the air hummed with something thicker than camaraderie. Whispers from the green room had hinted at tensions brewing over Trisha's latest cookbook tour clashing with Kelly's upcoming album drop, both vying for the same slice of the Heartland audience pie. Backstage chaos erupted like a powder keg the moment Trisha's silhouette vanished through the heavy velvet curtains, her departure sending ripples through the production team who scrambled to salvage the segment before it aired nationwide. Kelly remained seated, her hands clasped tightly in her lap to steady the shake of adrenaline, her mind racing through the fallout, headlines screaming country queens at war, social media ablaze with clips dissected frame by frame, fans pitted against fans and the endless tribalism of fandom. She glanced at the audience, their faces a mosaic of shock and thrill, some cheering Trisha's stand, others murmuring support for Kelly's bold evolution. "Well, folks," Kelly finally quipped, her voice cracking just a hair before she mustered her trademark resilience, that escalated quicker than a line dance at a wedding. Let's take a breath and talk about something sweet, like Trisha's cookbook, which you'll need to buy because that woman's a genius in the kitchen." Laughter bubbled up tentatively, breaking the tension like ice cracking under spring thaw. But the damage was done. The show's feed cut to commercial amid awkward applause, the director barking orders into his earpiece, "Roll the B-roll of Garth and Trisha's farm, keep it light." Meanwhile, Trisha barreled down the dimly lit hallway, her heart pounding not from anger but from a deep-seated sorrow that had been simmering for months. At 60, she'd seen the industry's tide shift from vinyl to streaming, from radio DJs who spun tales to playlists curated by faceless execs, and Kelly, bright, brilliant Kelly, embodied that shift in ways that both inspired and infuriated her. "It's not personal," Trisha muttered to her assistant trailing behind, a young publicist named Mia clutching a clipboard like a shield. As the sun dipped low over the Hollywood Hills, painting the sky in strokes of bruised purple and fiery orange, the digital storm raged on unchecked, with X, formerly Twitter, serving as the coliseum for gladiatorial debates between Team Trisha and Team Kelly, each side wielding memes and hot takes like sharpened pitchforks. In Nashville, Garth Brooks paced the sun-drenched kitchen of their sprawling farm, his Stetson tipped back as he scrolled through the frenzy on his phone, the aroma of Trisha's simmering chili wafting from the stove, a recipe she'd perfected over decades of comforting him through tour woes. "Darlin', you gave him hell, didn't ya?" he drawled when she finally called, his voice a gravelly anchor in the tempest. Trisha, ensconced in her suite's armchair with a glass of Pinot Noir, recounted the blow-by-blow, her laughter bubbling up despite the ache. "Garth, I swear, 1 minute we're swapping pie crust tips, the next I'm quoting Faulkner on authenticity like some backwoods professor." Garth chuckled, deep and rumbling, but his tone sobered quickly. "Pride's a hell of a drug, Trish. Kelly's fightin' the same beasts we did, just with fancier armor. You two mend this, or it'll fracture more than egos." She hung up with a sigh, padding to the balcony overlooking the twinkling cityscape, the distant hum of traffic a reminder of how far she'd wandered from her Georgia dirt roads. Meanwhile, across town, Kelly wrapped the show with her closing monologue, transforming vulnerability into victory as she addressed the elephant in the room. "Life's too short for grudges, y'all. Trisha's my hero, fierce, funny, and unflinching. If that's clashin', sign me up for more." The audience rose in a standing ovation, tears streaking cheeks, but as the credits rolled, Kelly retreated to her dressing room, collapsing onto the vanity stool amid discarded wardrobe options and half-eaten protein bars. The diner rendezvous stretched into hours, the clatter of silverware and murmur of patrons fading into a cocoon of confession where Trisha and Kelly peeled back the layers of their public personas like husking corn raw, revealing, occasionally thorny. Trisha spoke first, her drawl softening as she traced the arc of her career, from waitressing in Atlanta dives to headlining arenas, each milestone a testament to grit over glamour. Kelly, I ain't mad at you succeedin', Lord knows I cheered every chart topper. But when I see billboards pushin' country that's more synth than steel guitar, it feels like losin' my language. Kelly nodded, stirring her latte absent-mindedly, foam swirling like the chaos in her chest. I get it. Growing up in Texas, country was my church. Willie, Waylon, your voice on the radio pullin' me through daddy's long halls. But after Idol, the gates opened wide, and I had to walk through or starve. It's not betrayal, it's balance. They laughed at shared war stories, Trisha's infamous feud with a record label over creative control, Kelly's battles with body shamers who dared critique the powerhouse belter. Outside, the world whirred on, oblivious to the mending within those grease-spattered walls until a fan spotted them through the window, snapping a blurry pic that exploded online, #Trisha Kelly truce trending higher than the original clash. By noon, their impromptu summit had birthed a pact, a joint charity single blending Trisha's timeless twang with Kelly's soaring pop edge, proceeds to music education for underprivileged kids in rural heartlands. Let's show 'em unity ain't uniform, Trisha proposed, and Kelly's eyes lit like stage lights. Months later, as autumn leaves turned the Nashville hills to amber tapestries, the release of Roots and Wings, the Trisha Kelly anthem ignited a cultural bonfire, storming charts and stages with the force of a summer squall. The music video, shot on Trisha's farm under golden hour haze, captured them in raw vignettes, Kelly knee-deep in a creek, strumming a beat-up guitar while Trisha perched on a hay bale, her voice a husky counterpoint soaring over verdant fields dotted with grazing horses. Intercut with archival footage, their early duets, grainy clips of Opry legends, it painted a tapestry of continuity, not conquest, ending with the two women arm in arm on a porch swing, rocking to the fade-out chorus, "We bend but don't break," in the twang and the take. Premiering on the Kelly Clarkson Show, of course, the performance drew tears and thunderous cheers, Kelly's band augmented by Trisha's steel guitarist, the set transformed into a rustic hoedown with bales for bleachers and lanterns swinging like fireflies. "This one's for every dreamer who ever felt divided," Kelly announced, her voice thick with emotion, before they launched in Trisha's opening verse a gravelly prayer, Kelly's bridge a clarion call. Post-song, they sat for a candid chat, the earlier clash reframed as catalyst, that walk-off? "Best thing that happened," Trisha admitted, squeezing Kelly's hand. "Pushed us to prove harmony's harder and sweeter than harmony." The episode shattered ratings, edging out even Oprah reruns, as viewers tuned in for the redemption rather than the rupture.